Is there white genocide in South Africa?
There is no white genocide in South Africa.
Okay. So now the people know. So
And I say so,
yeah.
right? Because, let's be honest, if there was, I don't think we would be having this
We
discussion.
definitely wouldn't be having this
Right?
conversation now.
So,
I believe
perhaps
so. I believe
underground,
so.
if you were fond of white people, you'd have it underground, but it would only be aired in like 10 or 20 years after the genocide,
Yeah.
right? So no, there's
Yeah,
no
there is
genocide.
All right.
Let's make a distinction, right? When I say refugees, I usually put it in quotation marks because refugees jump borders, they swim through rivers, they don't line up at the airport with tons of baggage.
Yeah.
Right? That's not what a refugee does.
Yeah.
They're not accepted into government subsidized homes that have been pre-packed with food and the right facilities. Because let's be honest, the white Afrikaans refugees are being treated as gold class people of interest, refugees.
True.
You don't see that treatment happening in the Trump administration with people from Congo, where there's an actual genocide in Sudan and other parts of Africa and the Middle East, Palestine. So what I say to the Afrikaans community, if you want to believe in a genocide, if you believe that you're persecuted, so be it. But if you deny an actual genocide happening in Palestine or Congo and believe that your genocide is illegitimate, you have serious work cut out for you. Because how can you be persecuted, right, when you actually have a voice to talk for yourself? People that are being persecuted, people in Palestine, you don't see them across mainstream media on their TikToks and stuff. There are people in war-torn countries dying, right? And crime is a statistic that affects all South Africans, not just white farmers.
Yeah. I saw there's this interview of this African who was mentioning that he left his 5 bedroom house and his I think he said his dog or something, and black people were actually laughing in the comment section saying that these are the refugees that Donald Trump actually took, thinking that there's a white genocide. So you've been a voice about dismantling, right, the myth of white persecution in South Africa. How do you respond to critics who say your views are too radical and dismissive, and that in their experiences?
So I do resonate and I empathize with any person who've been a victim, who've been persecuted, and so on. When I look at people being murdered in the townships, which statistically is more women, elderly women and young girls, on their way to school and work and on their way back to home. Sexual abuse, violence, being shot, being robbed, at a larger scale than crimes on farms and in white areas that get better reporting than townships do. So I'm here to offend because it's not true. I don't deny the fact that and I'd look into the camera when I say this, there are brutal attacks on farms that seem out of place because they are isolated and the level at which it's being done in violence, right? There's no need to deny violence because we're not denying violence in the townships. The fact is to call out violence for what it is, a statistic that affects all communities.
All of us, yeah.
And if I deny, black victimhood and black people being affected by crime, that again creates another problem, like I said earlier. And why do that? Why not just be honest from the start? So I took offense to our president going to the United States and signing deals and saying what the international stage wanted him to say. I took offense to it because he couldn't stand up and tell Donald Trump the truth. Because what it is to politicians at the end of the day, it's money, it's investment. You heard all of those people talk about investment, Starling.
That's all you were talking about.
Investment.
Yeah.
That's going to fix crime, right? Crime is fixed by the government, not by international investment.